Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Max Moreau. With me is my co-hosts, Philip Wilson
Hey, I'm here.
Jeffrey Hawthorne.
Hello.
And we're doing new stuff today. I requested people to give ideas for what they wanted, and kind of early on, a lot of people mentioned procedural planet and universe generation, and I actually kind of want to do it. And that's probably terrifying, so we'll see how this actually goes. I have, in the past, tried to do this before, myself, and failed. And so that means that does not bode well for what we're doing on this. But I want to actually at least explore it, and give people kind of an idea of where to start, and what makes this complex, and what makes it easy, and what I want to focus on, which is planetfall, which is, I want to have a cool transition between the space and the planets, and have there be terrain and cool stuff. And I probably have too high of standards to actually end up doing any of these things, but we'll see how this actually ends up going. So
You know what they say, though. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
truly. And I mean, this is how you get practice at things. You try them. So I'm going to switch over to the main screen, and what I want to show first is I'm going to show some brief gameplay and footage from Frontier First Encounters, which is a game from '95. It's really cool. Hopefully, I can talk over the music that plays on here. It's so this game is Elite, and actually, it's part of the Elite series, so that's appropriate. But this game, I can hit info on here right now, and we can find out that it is 9.7 megabytes. The previous version of this game, which didn't have as much texture data, clocked in at under 1.4 megabytes. It actually fit on a single block. This was actually a CD-ROM edition, if I'm not mistaken. And I copied the heck out of this floppy. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't be running on Mac at all, but it is, because technology. So, but you can see here, they're going to do a flyby on this Earth-like planet here, and you'll actually see that it does like an atmosphere transition and stuff. And they do it like, it's amazing that they can do anything on this. This is all software rendering. I'm pretty sure it uses fixed point math library, and you see there's that transition, so you can see the space and atmosphere and stuff. Like that cool background here. And I just want to show this just because there's a lot of things to make something look good. There's a lot of ways you can fake it to make it look great, even if you don't have to do everything perfectly. And we're going to have to cheat in a lot of different places to actually make this work and make it run in real time. And even when you're working with very limited capabilities, like in this game, there were ways to actually make it look good. And I think that's why I'm just going to show this real quick. That's actually, I don't think I'm going to go through the gameplay. I'm going to play it real quickly after. Alright, so I'm going to request launching. This is a complex game. And if you launch without requesting launching, they will send the police after you, and you have to get fined or shot out of space or whatever. And we're going to just blast off into the sky here. And there's leaving the base here. This is a really amazing game, what they actually did here. But yeah, so you can see that I'm on a planet, and I'm going to just fast forward time real quick, and we'll go into... Oh, wait. Undercarriage is down. Oh, wait. What's that? Okay.
Game audio is loud.
Oh, okay. Well, deal. Alright, well, I'll stop this then. But yeah, basically, there's different planets and stuff, and this here shows what planet you're near. This Hope here, that's the name of the planet that I was next to. And the way that they did this game is they actually use the nearest planet as kind of your parent object, and they use that as the center of the universe, because considering they're using fixed point, they can't have a lot of mathematical detail. It actually degrades even faster than floating point. So I think it was fixed point. Maybe it was floating point, but even so, it was like 8-bit floating point if it was. So
apparently people had a hard time hearing.
All right, well, I'm sorry. Apologize. The important stuff was the video. Don't listen to me. Just watch the thing. So That's a bummer.
That's okay.
Whatever.
It happens.
So let's go ahead and open up Unity and do some things.
Unity.
Create new projects. Where are we going to put this? We're going to put this in. Not in here. Hat switch Perforce. We still call it that for some reason. And we're going to call this planets. Not with an exclamation point, though. We'll just do planets.
Oh.
I don't trust exclamation points
I
in
don't
files,
either.
so I'm not going to do that. I just
I
don't
don't
feel like
either.
doing it. And we don't need anything. We'll just create a project.
Let's just do it.
And do I have Neo Texture Edit on here? Neo Texture Edit. Good,
You
I do.
should,
We're going to
yeah.
need that. So,
We call it NeoText 2.
first off, there's a few different methods we could use for doing the planets. And one of the methods we could use is we could do sphere subdivision. So basically, you can take I'm not sure if these are the best examples. Yeah, this is a good example. You can take like a 20-sided die, basically.
A
and
dodecahedron.
then, yes, an icosahedron, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Dodecahedron's 12.
Yep.
Sorry.
No worries. But yeah, so and you can basically take the midpoint of each of these, turn it into a vertex, and then push the vertex out to the edge of the sphere, and then you do this again and again and again, and eventually you get more and more detailed spheres. And so this allows you to kind of level of detail things. You start with a low number of polygons, and as you get closer, you increase the number. You still have to deal with the problem of you still have all that poly data on the parts that you're not seeing of the planet, and there's a lot of math behind this, and we may actually explore this option once we run into dead ends on other options, but I actually want to try to do something a little bit different. What I'm going to actually try to do is...
This is what Frontier was doing. Though.
Yeah, Frontier was doing something similar to this. Probably not exactly taking center points, but just rather taking points that make mathematical sense, that make it easy. Maybe it was center points, maybe it was exactly this, but I mean, you saw all the crawling and stuff, but that's because of all the lack of precision that they had for the engine. So we could do something like this. What I actually want to try first is kind of more of a hybrid approach where we come in on the sphere, and I'm just going to start with a Unity sphere, but we may make it more detailed or make it one of these. But after a certain point, transition into kind of a flat plane, because when you're on a planet, like if I was to search for like Horizon, or if you were to look out your doors, if it's light wherever you are, which it's just incredibly dark here right now, but you'll see that, well, this one shows the curve, but most of the pictures are going to be quite flat.
You do not actually see the curvature of the Earth.
And so when you get close enough, at least close enough where mountains actually matter, you're not going to see that curvature. And considering, as far as I'm concerned, trench runs and mountains and scapes like that are fun to fly through, this is the point where I want things to actually play and feel the best. So I think that going kind of a flat method will be kind of an interesting way to go. Now, I brought a visual aid. I'm going to switch over to just the face for a moment. So I brought a towel, a little hand towel. And you guys have probably learned this in geography class a long time ago, but maybe you took an orange and tried to peel it out and make a map to show the orange. Typically, we're dealing with squares in Unity and things. We're dealing with texture maps and things that you can describe easily in 2 dimensions. And when you try and map this to a sphere, just like mapping a sphere to a plane, it's impossible to actually make it perfect without distortion. The reverse is also true. If you try and map this onto a sphere, if you pretend my hand's a sphere, my fist is a sphere, and we try to wrap this around it, not everything matches exactly right. And there's a few things I wanted to try that are probably going to do very weird things. One of them is, one of the thoughts I had was, let's make it so that when you're on the ground, it's just continuously repeating things. So we have a texture with, or we have a height map or something, where this edge wraps to this edge and that edge wraps to this edge. And that, when mapped to a sphere, it kind of makes sense, because if you like take two of the edges and form kind of a tube. It'll wrap to the other side, and then the opposite way is true. And the corners actually wrap too. If the texture wraps, they would wrap on the corners. And when you put them all together, it looks like things are going to work just perfectly, because you go up here and you're like, oh, I've got the four corners touching each other, except for you've now got the two sides folded here, and these don't actually match up. And so there's just a lot of things that you have to consider on this type of thing. And so Phil and I were talking before the show, and one of the things we thought we might do is, by default, let me actually show you how Unity maps a sphere first of all.
Change to the camera.
Oh yeah, thank you. High five.
What bam?
That was awesome. All right. So, did that change?
I don't know, did it?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
All right. So, we're going to create a sphere. And I'm going to create a texture map for this thing. We're going to go into Neo Texture Edit.
Neo, I have something important to tell you about the Matrix. It's about textures.
The Matrix is a series of texture maps. What is it doing down there?
It's the Matrix, Neo.
No one can be told what the Matrix is. All right, so is it that funny?
Yeah, to me it is. Why is it freaking out?
I don't know why it's freaking out.
Because you took the wrong pill.
So I'm going to use just this one as an example. We're just going to export this as a texture. Just one of the default built-in things. Yeah, let's make it huge. Who care? Texture.
Oh, it stopped freaking out there for a moment.
Oh, it started again. All right. So we're going to take texture, and we're going to throw it in here. And we're going to put it on the sphere. And you can see that kind of around the center here, it looks like it's just perfect. Like it's seamlessly wraps, and it looks really good and stuff. And when you get to the top, you're like, huh, it looks all messed up. And the same thing on the bottom. And what we were thinking about doing is using this is actually a cylindrical projection. So what's happening here is the top of the texture map is being kind of squished in, kind of like an iris, and then everything up and down, this maps to the Y of the texture, and this maps to the X of the texture.
Yeah.
And so it just squishes things at the poles. And the thing is, we were thinking what we could do is, instead of changing the mapping and trying to make a perfect mapping for this thing, when we rotate the sphere, instead of actually rotating the sphere, we'll actually push the texture around. And what I mean by that is we'll keep a view on the planet, like if we were looking directly at the planet, say. And we'll keep a nearly side view. And then we'll use the texture, the material settings, and change the offset, which for some reason is one of the few things that you can't just drag change, which is really unfortunate, but like 0.25. So this makes it spin across the axis and stuff, but then we can also move it from the top of the axis. So if we do like 0.5, 0.1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see it's kind of I don't know if it's doing things what we want them to do.
It's just because we're transitioning from a reset state to another state.
Yeah.
I think it'll work. Yeah, see, look at it go.
So if you highlight to change the other number instead of deleting it first.
Highlight to change it?
It'll be a little more smooth because you're not going to the
I see.
state in between.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there you go.
There. Yeah, it's that zero state that was messing
up. So this allows us to kind of avoid that mapping issue. And then it kind of allows us to arbitrarily come down onto our texture and have that be a height map after a certain point. Mm-hmm. So first of all, let's see. Let's use the tools that we have here. So I said procedural. The question was procedural. We wanted to generate something from nothing, or from parts, or something.
Something from nothing.
What we're going to do first is we're going to just generate it manually. so that we know what we're going to be doing. A lot of times when you're prototyping procedural generation stuff, you need to figure out what the procedure is going to be in the first place. And so figuring out what looks good and actually playing with it and making something in the first place is kind of where you start on this. This texture was generated procedurally. It automatically wraps. This was generated by code. It just wasn't our code, and so we have to replace this eventually with our own procedural generation. This texture obviously is not what we would want for a planet. This might be okay for a height map, but it wouldn't be perfect for a a texture map. That being said, a height map can be generated into a texture map very easily by just changing the values. So like the high peaks you would want to be white, the areas below that probably green, and then below sea level is blue, and then you have something that resembles a planet already. And we'll probably do some of that on maybe this episode, but for right now, let's just see what we can do for
We'll cross that bridge when we
transitioning
get to it.
between a height map and the planet itself. So let's create our height map based on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a terrain. Let's see how this goes. So here's our huge ass terrain. It is so much bigger than our planet, ironically. Our planet is very, very tiny.
Where's the planet?
The planet's right at this corner here. I don't.
Why
think,
is the planet so tiny?
Well, because it's tiny. I don't know.
Maybe our terrain is just incredibly big.
Yeah. No, the planet's tiny. Here, let's make our planet an appropriate planet size. Let's see. Wolfram Alpha. Diameter of the Earth in meters.
Aren't we going to lose a lot of precision though with the giant
We'll see.
object?
We'll adjust things as necessary. I'm just gonna see what it looks like first, and then we'll work from there.
Well, look at it process.
It's all thinking. All right,
I think Google would have given you the answer faster.
probably, and it probably would have gotten it from here.
We can also
So I don't know what that actually even
Probably,
means.
yeah. That's
So,
right, I forgot it uses Wolfram.
1.27 times 10 to the 7th. That's good enough for me. So 1.27.
Someone
so
says you can make your own sphere and unwrap it in a 3D modeling program so that doesn't distort around the poles. Yeah, you can do that.
yeah, but you'll
But it'll
distort
still get
somewhere.
distortion.
You can't not distort it.
That's true.
So 1.27.
Creating a cube map on a smooth cube will provide a much better solution, they're saying.
Yeah, that might be a good solution too. We will probably explore things as we run into walls. I'm going to actually play with this in real time here first. So times 10 to the 7th. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's huge.
This is our planet.
Can you
So-
actually enter in
I
U
think
plus
you're not far
07?
enough out.
If you enter that in yourself, will you?
It probably would. I don't know. Let's see. Does this work? Yeah, it understands it.
So, keep zooming.
I actually can't zoom more than that. I have to actually start moving backwards. So let's see what we can do. This is so not going well. Here, let's just double click on the sphere. That'll do it, right? No,
Apparently not.
it's
It's
too big.
big.
This is too big. All right,
So-
well,
edit the texture so it culls the back faces. Then you can see where it is at least.
Where's Mr. Yuck when you need him?
yeah. Let's just do a half scale planet. So let's just make this 4. All right, there's our half scale planet. That looks like a planet. See how it looks flat? There's actually a sphere here, but we can't see it.
Well, you might be looking at one.
Let's do.
You might actually be looking at a plane of the sphere.
Oh wait,
because
yeah,
it's so
actually,
big.
because I didn't actually resize all the sides either. So this one's much smaller, but still big.
It
It's
probably
huge
looked
still.
flat because it was flat at that position. Though.
Yeah. Yeah, let's put that one more 0 in there. Ah,
That's huge.
yes, this is huge. There we go. So that's our planet, and there's our terrain, which is also huge.
But not as huge as.
but not as huge as the planet. So, but that actually might even work ratio-wise. Let's just play with this. Let's see how this goes.
All right.
So let's go to our terrain, and now is there a way I can just make a height map? Like just give it a height map? Yeah, import raw height map. I don't want a raw height map. I just want. Can it not just? Let's see what happens when we just point it to our. Nope, it wants it in raw format for some reason. That's dumb. Well, let's see if we can oblige real quickly.
What's raw format?
Raw format is a non-format kind of. It just is pixel data, and it doesn't even have like height, width information, and it assumes it based on what we input. I'm gonna see if we can output here. It's not to be confused with the raw camera format, which is different.
What is it to be confused with?
I don't know. Confuse it with whatever you want. Other. Let's see. Other. Format. None of them. All right.
GIMP can do raw, can't it?
Yeah, I probably
Probably.
can, but I don't have it installed.
Send me that file. I can get it.
You can do it?
I have GIMP.
Here. Hold on.
What about that texture?
Unity height map.
That generator that you actually used to create it. Can that export?
Pixelmator?
raw or
I do not believe so. How do you use height maps? Unity answers.
Wow, GIMP is taking forever to start up. Oh, we're all being very quiet.
All right, we'll use Photoshop. Screw it.
Photoshop.
I know. I sold out.
I'm so ashamed.
All right, so
I'm keeping
just
it
'cause
real.
I was kind of expecting Unity to, be Unity-like in this respect, but evidently it wants things in a specific format as opposed to just whatever the heck you have lying about. So, check my billing information. Great, I haven't sold out that well. So, what are we doing? Open. Texture, PNG. Save as. Photoshop RAW, I guess. That doesn't sound like the right type of RAW, but
it's .raw.
let's try it.
I'm not seeing it even in GIMP.
File type. Oh, PRAW. PRAW.
PRA! Alright, whatever. We'll just go with the default settings, see what happens. Texture copy raw, and then we'll just point this thing at it. We'll just be like, hey, we want our terrain to all take a height map. Desktop. Open. Did I do 8-bit or did I do... I don't know. So width is 1024, height is 1024. Import. What do we have for a terrain? Did it actually do something? Ooh, it looks like it did something.
That's interesting.
Actually, it's kind of weird looking. It does look like it's taking that texture data.
Yeah, it seems to.
It looks really messed up. Probably should have practiced this stuff before the episode. I didn't know I was going to run into issues like this. Maybe we'll just go back to our height map generator that we have on another project.
I remember we had one of those.
Yeah. Here, let's, Cooking with Unity to the rescue! Alright. So
Wow.
we're gonna search for. Why am I not signed in?
I don't know.
Whatever.
It was
Videos.
the
It's
Canon one.
Yeah, it's the.
The 2-tower, like, shooting at each other.
Turn-based artillery.
That's it.
Let's see if I actually did my homework and actually put a download for. Yay! Download the completed project file. Thank you, Max, from the past, for actually doing your job once. Alright. So while that's downloading, I'm just going to see if there's anything we can do to make this not look stupid. Maybe it's just a bad texture map to use in the first place, although it doesn't look like it'd be that bad. What is it doing? It's probably the wrong format. I'm just stupid. It looks like run length encoding issues, so hold on. Texture raw, copy. Let's do 16-bit. Let's just do that. 1024 by 1024. Import. Is that
That's
better?
interesting. No.
Still seems kind of messy.
Seems wacky.
Raw. Downloads. No. Trackfire desktop. One of these D's. Let's try Windows BitOrder.
The texture files for Frontier First Encounters are stored in RAW format.
What was that?
The texture files for Frontier First Encounters are stored in RAW
Doesn't
format.
surprise me, actually. Because it's less to read in, so... Let's go back to Photoshop and save as again, and look at... RAW... Save... Let's do a copy to... 8BIM PRAW...
Can you take out the P in PRAW?
RAW.
Just raw. I don't think that'll make much of a difference.
RAW.
Yeah, whatever. We will use our other solution that I've just downloaded. So let's just see if I can find it in here. Assets, scripts. Let's see if we like organized things a little bit. So, height map generator. Hopefully we didn't like turn this into something else along the way. Oh yeah, this one actually generates a continuous height map type thing, doesn't it? Yeah, this isn't actually what I want. I want the earlier version. Oh, I know what I want. I know what we'll get. Yeah, it's in Asset Store and it's free. Come on. What is it doing? Window. Asset Store.
Free.
And I'm fairly certain it's in my account thingy. I'm going to be downloading the procedural examples, and I think it has a height map generator in there.
It said the byte order is wrong.
Okay, I tried changing the byte order to PC, and it didn't seem to fix the problem.
And CAPTCHA.
Oh, CAPTCHA again?
Yeah.
What?
I just like saying CAPTCHA.
Alright, so
CAPTCHA.
procedural examples. No, there's no search. That would be too... Oh, there it is. Proceed. There you go. Download.
And it's by Unity Technologies.
Yes, it is. It's mostly to teach people how to make models and stuff and adjust vertexes in real time. but it includes a height map example, if I'm not mistaken, that we actually used, that
we
we
did.
based on our
Yep.
other thing on. So, sources, height map generator. Oh, it's in JavaScript. I remember that. Okay. We will just, what do we put this on? I just will create an empty game object, and we'll just assume that it just does everything for us. And we will give it a material, and that will be our texture here. It's interesting it asks for material. So texture. Oh, that's the material. Never mind. We want just the height map. So that's texture. Bam. And if we go to our game object here, let's delete this huge terrain thing. Go to our game object. So does it happen when we hit play or something? Probably.
I think so.
Error.
Texture is not readable. Okay, so I need to actually make sure that we go to texture and we set it as advanced. Let's make it true color. Read write enabled, and let's not bitmap. Apply. And now we're going to go back to our game object, and now if we hit play, it should generate us a terrain. Yeah, that looks more like what we were kind of going to expect out of that, I think.
I think so.
Why does it have...
Switch to ortho, hit the Y, and then compare it to the texture.
Alright.
Oh, might need a light
So,
to show shadow.
Yeah, good call.
Create a directional light. And let's look at our texture. Let's just open this up. Alright, so where is...
So I think it's a 180.
I think it inverted our
Yeah,
texture.
I think yeah.
So, yeah, so this area should probably be on the right-hand
Look at
side
it from the bottom.
there. Or, oh wait, no, that's... Is this it? No, this isn't it. Can't look at it from the
No.
bottom.
There is no texture.
Not with that. Making a material that calls the front and shows the back.
Alright, so we've got...
Or invert it with the scale.
Hold on. So yeah, it's flipped. If we flip this vertically, I think that would actually map out properly here, because we have this kind of region here. And no, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah, I think. I don't know.
It's really
Whatever,
hard
it's
to
a height
tell.
map. Whatever. I don't care. We're going to work with it.
Whatever
it is
height
now.
maps. Y'all don't know me.
I'm
Do what I
really
want.
not happy with how this is going so far. Alright, so this is the easy stuff. We're not even to the fun stuff yet. So, so let's just, for our sketch, put this on our sphere. And we're going to have to move things around a bit. So is the sphere actually at 0, 0, 0? Perfect.
Probably want to get out of the play mode.
No, I actually want to stay in the
do you?
play mode, because otherwise we won't have anything to see.
Oh, good point.
So,
Good point.
so let's make this thing way bigger. Let's make it like 100 by 100 by 100. It's actually bigger than 100 by 100 by 100 because it's now bigger than our sphere. Because this thing is 200 by 200 by default. Okay, cool. So, so yeah, let's actually not use these values. Let's use the other values. Actually, does this even update in real time?
Maybe
No, it
if
does
you
not.
maybe if you uncheck it and recheck it.
Oh, good point. Nope, because start doesn't get recalled on that. So,
Yeah, I believe we encountered this problem with the...
yeah, we had to make ours real time as well.
Yeah.
All right, 50 by 50 by 50.
Call those fitties.
And we'll just put this. I want to put it on the side of the sphere, so let me rotate it out so that it can be on the side somewhere. How did I get exactly 90?
I do not.
Did you see that? Like that was amazing. All right, so
Maybe the script has one of those things that locks it.
Why you gotta be like that?
0. Let's do y of what? 100. No, 100 times 50, which would be. All right, and same thing for the x, except for negative. And then we bring the z out like that. All right. And what way is this thing facing? If we were to look at a facing of it. Good, it's facing towards us. I think this is even the way that we want it to be, assuming that our texture map actually matched, which it probably doesn't, so... But we will we'll work with this.
There it goes.
All right. A bit more than 6,000, 6,500. All right, so we have our cloth in front of our planet here.
It's a planet drape.
And actually, so let's. I do want to figure out what the mapping is real quick. So let's go to our texture. And actually, let's texture map it. Let's go ahead and put that into.
Theoretically, the
Let's do
texture
this.
mapping should match up with it, right?
Okay, so it does not. We can obviously see it doesn't at this point. But let's
Well, if it inverted, then you could try changing the texture.
yeah. Let's duplicate this texture. Find it. Open it with a program. And what was my current theory on what this texture was actually doing? So let's actually first remove this texture and give it. Let me just create another default texture real quick.
So why don't you do it in tiling first, just to fool around with it
Oh,
more easily before you...
well, what do you mean? Like, what do you want me to tile?
Well, you copied a separate texture.
Yeah, I just was gonna flip it around and invert it until it actually matched up properly with this.
But if you put it on the mesh, and then go and change the tiling on the material to -1.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
All right, so let me temporarily put this back to new material and put it back to, because I think we have to rotate it as well. That's the problem. So, and we can't. There's no rotate that we can do without writing a matrix function or just opening it up in a program, which is what I was going to do.
Mhm.
Let's put this back on. All right, let's just look at it in Pixelmator real quick. So,
That is not Pixelmator.
all right, so I'm gonna rotate this 9 degrees left, and then we're gonna flip it. Flip horizontal. That's not exactly right
That still
either.
doesn't seem right. Actually, though,
Actually,
rotate
though-
it to the right again.
Okay, rotating it to the right.
I mean, that right now. That seems.
Okay, so we have this max plateau that happens on one of these, isn't there?
It's just so weird.
How could Unity be wrong? Alright. It is weird.
Because I kind of see how it is right now on there, but it's not right. Am I just crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy.
That makes one of us.
So, rotate right again.
To the right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's it at all. I think it's just messing with us now.
Why you gotta be like this, Unity?
Did you?
Alright, let's
you
look at their stupid source code. Let's look at their stupid freaking... I hate you source code. What are they doing? Height, pixel height map, get pixel, XY, pixel height Y. So just flip. Hold on. Oh, how did we originally have this? Let me just revert
I
this.
have no idea.
Last opened, revert. So there's a plateau here. So that should be a max or a min value. Let's look at the histogram for this thing. Levels. Alright, so the only place there's a plateau is on the min value. So it's inverted. That's part of our problem. So the dark, for whatever reason, is the highest point.
And not the other way around.
And not the other way
Interesting, that is
around.
not what I would have expected.
Nor me either.
That doesn't
That's
quite
what,
make
what
sense.
it looks
though.
like. Okay, so let's invert this. Image, invert. Bam. Alright, and then from here... Are we starting to see a pattern that actually makes sense?
Yep, looking at the texture again, it's the bottom left corner. That's what they keep saying. That's what they're saying.
What's the bottom left corner? What do they mean?
Looks to me like the generated height map is actually only one part of the original texture. It's not smart enough to tell you why, though. Or I'm not smart enough to tell you why, though.
Okay, so you think it's like one... Okay, so let me just revert this again.
Actually, that kind of makes sense.
So here's... Wait. So let me just go back. So what area do you think it is? Hold on.
I said it is the bottom left corner.
Alright, let's open, revert. Okay.
Did that actually revert?
No, obviously not. Delete. I hate you.
Whoa. That escalated quick.
Yes, it did. Finder. Open this thing again and preview whatever. We're just looking at it. So you think it's the lower left-hand corner?
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Like how much of a corner? Like 25%? Like this piece right here?
How many pixels is that?
Actually, right there, that kind of makes sense.
Does it?
Look at it.
Is that 1024 by 1024?
With the alley going through.
So is it rotated in some way? Because these lines don't match up, but...
Well, they don't quite match up here.
And where's this bulb at a corner here? There's no bulb at a corner on this one. This one has potentially a bulb at the corner, but then this has like a very noticeable double height in the middle.
It's the bottom right there. should be very apparent what this is.
All right, let's do something much simpler and stupider.
All right, simple, stupid. I'm good
All
with
right.
it.
We're going to open up Pixelmator. New document. I don't know why I didn't think to do this earlier. We're going to fill this thing with black. We're going to take our gradient tool, wherever they hide that thing, or wherever I hit it. And we're going to use a linear... No. Radial's not right either. Oh, radial is right. Okay, so do this somewhere in the center here and do that. I'll save.
Oh, well, that makes sense, actually.
Gonna do this as a PNG. Stupid texture. I'm going to hit all the buttons on my keyboard until I get the one I want. And then we'll put this in here. We're going to put this on our sphere so we can see how dumb it looks. There it is. You can see there's a front, and I guess there's the front. Which direction is that? That's not even mapped. I hate Unity. Whatever.
There's the middle.
There's the middle. All right. You know why? You understand why I said that, right? You saw what just happened there, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then we're going to use this as their texture here, and we're going to hit play, and we're going to see what the heck we have in our game object here. It's not readable. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Go back to advanced. It's not stupid. It's advanced. Name that show. Not you, the viewers. I know you know what it is.
Do I?
You better.
Is height map a texture type?
Height map is not a texture type, I don't think. Though there is a way to make a normal map version of it, yeah. Alright, so yeah, it looks like you would be right. It's definitely a small part of a corner.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely
you
not
were
the
able
whole
to
thing.
set an X, Y, and Z. I wonder if that affects... Maybe you have to set that to be equal to the size of the image.
Wait, where was I setting the X, Y, and Z?
Size.
Well, over there, there's...
Oh, yeah. So you think if we do like 1024 by 1024, it might just work? Actually, how big did I even make this one? I did, okay. 1024. Yeah, let's give that a shot. I like that. I like that theory.
I like it a lot.
Because 200 actually kind of sounds like it matched what we were looking at there. Nope, it decided to do the exact same thing, but make it bigger. Let me put a light in the scene again so that we can see the...
If we can see it.
Yeah.
Just stop it and make the height a lot bigger.
Whoa.
Alright. Stop and make the height just ridiculous. Let's make it 1000.
Yep, it's still the same problem.
Alright. No wonder we had so much trouble with this thing when we were playing around with the... Remember we
Oh,
ran
yes,
into all
I
sorts of
remember.
problems,
I
and then we ended
remember.
up just like throwing numbers at it until it kind of worked. There's probably like a quarter. We probably did like some multiply by 25 at some 0.25 or something. I don't
Well,
know.
resize the texture to
To be...
256 by 256.
Oh yeah, maybe that's part of it. Hold on. Let's...
Or look in code. Maybe
Yeah,
they have a hard
let's see what that
maximum.
is. That's a good point. Let's look at that. Height map generator.
255.
Yep, that would be the problem. All right.
Expect a 255 by 255.
So we'll just do
You'd think
one
that
of
would have been a
these.
public variable.
You would think so.
Or at least a...
Okay, that makes a lot more sense, though. But it's dumb.
a script global variable because they have it just...
Yay! That's exactly right. It looks terrible, but that's exactly right.
It looks like you're creating a mold for a gun shell or something.
All right, so I'm gonna use texture 1 here and tell it to be 256, so we can use a higher resolution one for
I can't
for
believe
our
that.
texture map.
256, really?
I don't want to up that either because it'll just ridiculously up our polygon count. So I'm just gonna work with that for right now. All right, there it is. That looks more like what we're looking for, except for let's not make it ridiculously tall. Let's make it 30 like we did before.
What's
and
Superman's palace area?
The Fortress of
yeah.
Solitude?
let's do all of the default values again. Now that we have a happy height map generator. Kudos to the person who was like, yeah, it's totally the corner, and who I totally was like, no, it's not the corner.
Yeah, it
So-
was totally the corner, wasn't it?
So, all right, so this looks like something.
Yeah, that looks very much like the image that we were trying to match it with now.
And now if we look at the image,
Yes.
yeah.
That is very similar. Actually, as a matter of
So,
fact, it's rotated to
yes,
the
this
right.
one right here.
Yes, like, just like that.
This is the one.
Yes, that is...
That's the one. All right, cool.
Oh, try putting the texture on there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's put the texture on there. So, put the higher resolution texture on there.
And look at that. That is exactly what I
Well,
was
except for we
expecting.
need to rotate it. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's...
But it's
So,
more what
let
I...
me-
What direction is it? Wait, where's the...
Well, let's choose a direction.
No, that...
Let's just... there we go. Use that touchpad. And then save it. Actually, give me a save. Save.
No, that's not
That was the wrong
correct
way.
at all.
All right. So, must be... Oh, come on. You're killing me, Mac. You're killing me. All right. Save.
Hello, computer.
So maybe it is inverted.
I thought it looked right on the first time, but that was just me.
Where is my...
Why?
You thought it looked right on
yeah,
the first
I
time?
did actually.
Make the height really small.
To be completely honest, yeah, I thought it was right when we first did it.
Okay. All right.
I could be very wrong. Yeah. Oh, look, that went much easier that time.
Take the height map off. Or the picture off.
No, that's
The
not right.
texture off.
Okay, taking the texture off. Where's my material?
That's...
Let's try flipping it. Let's try going
Oh, it needs to be
into-
flipped. Yeah, it needs to be flipped. See that
Yeah.
giant area
Yeah.
right there? It's over there on the right.
So-
Yep, it's flipped, not rotated. That's
Oh,
what-
the -1 is still on there.
Oh, that would
that
probably
would-
be
yeah.
the problem. By the way, the
All right.
tiling with the -1, yeah, that could be a big problem.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
Yay! Well, that's the end of the episode. No, all right. Like we got 10 minutes. Okay, let's make a planet or something. I don't know. Yeah, all right. Maybe we'll just put. What did we do last time when we had a terrible
I don't
show and we
remember.
just made a whole bunch of balls and just started orbiting
Oh
them
yeah,
somewhere?
that was cool.
Let's just spawn a bunch of these and just do something with them. I don't know.
Let's start adding in the point system.
The point system.
I don't even know.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Point system. Let's do it right now. Points.
Why would you? What?
No, I'm not doing this. So, so we have this. It kind of works. I'm going to use material of. So, is this one that's 256 or which one is 256? Okay, so let's use this one as the texture for our thingy. We'll put it in here, and we'll make this 50 by 50 by 50. And we'll hit play. And now we'll stick this on the side of our sphere. We'll give our sphere the texture 1. Or texture. Come on. And we will rotate this thingy in some direction.
Should put the height map on the planet.
I can't. Not something we can do. Oh wait, I rotated that totally the wrong way. Let's rotate it this way. So what, 90 or something? Does that look right? So hard to tell.
It's very difficult to
Does it
tell.
even have the right?
No, now
Texture
the
map's
texture's
not
all
even right.
messed
Hold
up
on.
now.
Okay, yeah. Back to normal. Why is texture? Why is that one messed up? Oh, it has an offset.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yay! All right. We're getting through this. All right, so I see two ball thingies. That represents those two ball thingies there. I think. Yep. So I want to rotate this in such a way that the ball thingies are lined up somewhat. So we want to rotate it actually this way, kind of, yeah. 270. I think this actually maps appropriately now.
Does it?
Yeah, so if we pull this forward, what direction is forward?
I don't know. Negative Z. Well, it depends on which direction's forward.
Yeah.
Which is negative Z at the moment.
Alright, and what? Negative 5,000. And a positive 5,000. No, negative 5,000. And we take a look at alright, so rotate the sphere again. Maybe I don't have this right. Let's see. So I'd assume that these were these. Yeah, those look right. And then there's a gap, and this and the one above it. Yep, that's right. So we're not at the center of the sphere. Let's rotate the sphere to kind of represent center fold. So right there, about. We don't have any stupid offsets on anything anymore, right? Okay.
I don't believe so. Those offsets were really messing with us.
All right, so yeah, so this is kind of the angle going in here. It's distorted because spheres, but yeah. So this is basically it. So if we actually stretch this out a little bit, it would look more. Oops, wrong stretch.
Or you could stretch the sphere and tile the texture on it.
Yeah.
Because then the mesh would also fit the curvature better if you're zooming in.
So you were saying tile the texture? Wait, why is that? So it's like, what do you mean? Like we're using the same texture on both of these, so let me actually duplicate this real quick and put this on here. So what do you want to do for the tiling? Like,
I meant making the sphere bigger and tiling the textures so that as you're zooming into the planet, the mesh that you have is just a subset, a small section of the planet.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, we could do that. I actually kind of want to try and figure out some sort of fake one-to-one thing without doing that, but we may have to do that. Let me put this back to texture.
Texture.
Texture. Like captcha.
Texture?
Prove you're a human by recreating this texture.
Captcha. Texture captcha? That would be like the worst thing ever. Like, now draw this texture so that you can prove you're human. Oh man, I can't draw. I'm not human anymore.
Alright, well, I'm going to
That's
copy
okay.
this game object position, and we're just going to do copy
If you
components.
were able to
We're going to
recreate
stop
the
playing.
texture, that's how they would keep out the bots.
We're going to paste component values. We're going to start playing. Now it should just be in the right position. Yay, it is. Let's put our game camera somewhere around here. Let's just do main camera, align with view.
Are you going to turn on the main camera?
What
And
you
we
say?
hit play.
It's you.
Oh wow, our main camera is so small.
It's tiny.
Let's give it a big view frustrum.
It's not really doing it a big
So the far clip, let's do another 0.
Yeah, more zeros.
2 more zeros. All right.
There you go.
Increase the near clip plane.
You're a near clip plane.
Mom's new
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
That was our secret.
All right, so I'm gonna hit play. Yay! I'm gonna put a directional light in here.
Hooray.
Yay! All right. And wait, why does the sphere look stupid now? Oh, because I didn't actually save that it had this texture. There we go.
Yeah, it had the one spot texture. Yay.
All right, and yeah.
And C.
I didn't actually change the rotation on this thing, so this was rotated some direction so that the red was pointing at us, right? Yeah, 89.997. That's exactly what I wanted. When I use the snap feature, it gives me something off, but when I just dragged it, I just magically
90.
got 90 that one time. What the hell?
You have it on video, so it
I
happened.
do have it on video.
It
Take
really-
that, Unity. I have it on video in triplicate.
In triplicate?
It's like the old Sony bug testing thing. Is like, do you have it on video? It's like, yeah. In triplicate, it's like, give me a minute.
It's just so defeating.
All right, so we're gonna call this wow, not a lot here. .unity.
.org.
And I'm gonna quit this.
.gov.
And people are gonna be super disappointed in the episode, and that's okay.
.edu.
It'll get better, I guarantee it. Because it couldn't get much worse.
.net.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and perforce this.
.p4v. Is it P4v?
It is P4V.
Yeah.
Don't know why they call it P4V, but
You know what I miss about old Perforce?
the
The little dude with the little gimpy leg.
oh, the running Perforce icon. Yeah, I missed that
Yeah.
too. They don't do that anymore,
Good
do they?
times. Yeah, those were good times. I like the running Perforce icon.
All right. Mark for add. Oh wait, I have to change my client spec real quick. Edit. Just copy one of these. And change it to planets. These aren't separate depots, right? Oh, they are separate depots. Why did I do it that way? Alright, never mind. We're not going to put this on Perforce right now.
Okay.
Ah, why did I do it that way? Alright, whatever. I just like to make things hard. I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to be like, I don't understand what you mean the planets isn't a thing. Alright. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the start of the show.
Yep, that one.
This is the look of defeat. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
And apologies that it went so slow, and apologies that it was so bumpy, and that we didn't really get anything done. Well, we got something done.
You know
we got
what?
We got some theory. We got some theory. We got some.
I'm not apologizing.
Well, I am. So
No.
that was terrible. It was
No.
terrible. No.
No. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. So you get what you pay for. Speaking of which, no. so anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, please email me, pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me at Drakfire. You should also buy Phil's game, Robot Alone. It's fun. It's iOS. Just go download that game. It's fun.
Yeah. It's $1. And
Um,
you can follow me on Twitter. You can. You can follow me on Twitter. This is a thing that could happen in the world. You can follow me on Twitter. It's at Magma Lemur. And I'm just going to keep
All right.
keep moving away. But it's at MagValemer, and you can follow me on Twitter. You can send me an email, I guess, whatever, philip@protosoftworks.com. But more importantly, you should donate to Cooking with Unity. You should donate to Cooking with Unity. There's a little YouTube thing. There's a little YouTube thingy. It's a linky thingy, the thing.
Yep, and so donations. I said I was going to get to that last weekend and the weekend, and I just keep saying it, and I'm just a liar, evidently. So I hit crunch pretty hard. That's the reason that I was not able to do Thursday's episode, and it's also the reason that I didn't get to printing out or lasering or whatever you call it these days, producing swag for people. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get emails sent out soon. I'm going to make it before the end of the week, so at least people don't feel like they're hanging, so that they understand that the donation went through, that we appreciate it. I haven't even done that. So I'm going to get you guys all an email. I'm going to get you guys kind of a status page type thing so that you know where your order is, and so you can see it continuously in the will ship later phase. And hopefully... we're meeting a deadline at my workplace on Wednesday. Hopefully that means that the weekend will be clear for me to actually do this for reals. So, so hopefully you'll see those in your mailboxes sometime in the future after this weekend, when we actually make them and ship them to you.
People need their swag.
They do, and I'm hoping that no one has died waiting for their swag yet, because I would feel terrible. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. And you guys have a great night.
Have a good night.
Good night.